to enter the draw. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
For in-depth news coverage from across Zambia, local and national news, business, politics and sports, this is the Sun FM News, brought to you by ABSA. Your story matters. With the news, my name is Alan Mwale. The headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for the urgent removal of barriers hindering the growth of Zambia's tourism sector, emphasizing its potential to become a major driver of economic development. Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo has warned that all individuals involved in the destruction and damage of property in Chingola this morning will be brought to book. The Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development has unveiled plans to construct 3 new industrial yards in southern, central and Muchinga provinces, aiming to create over 2,000 jobs and drive rural industrialization. In sports, ZPL Eden Women's Super League champions Zesco Ndola Girls FC are gearing up for their maiden appearance in the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifier. The news in detail shortly.
The news, 88.5 Sun FM.
News in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for the urgent removal of barriers hindering the growth of Zambia's tourism sector, emphasizing its potential to become a major driver of economic development. Speaking during a stakeholder meeting at a State House, the president underscored the need for increased government support and strategic investment in tourism. Citing the sector's impressive growth trajectory, he proposed the establishment of a dedicated treasury mechanism to sustainably finance tourism initiatives and ensure long-term sectoral resilience.
Big growth in our economy, including in the drought year, when we were stressed. Energy, mining, of course, was stressed, but tourism showed up, to be honest, and we don't want it to backslide. We want it to continue surging forward, as it were. So, but let me return to the issue. The issue is that today's meeting is deliberately designed this way, so we can actually see why we are not moving certain things, what is needed in order to move those things, so that we can open up the sector for more growth. And the growth benefits are known. It's a story that we all know, jobs. Story that we know, more business opportunities, suppliers of goods and services. Into this sector, when it grows, more eggs will be consumed.
Meanwhile, economist and tourism advocate Mark MacDonald has urged the government to accelerate policy reforms within the tourism sector. Mr. MacDonald emphasized the urgent need to recalibrate tourism policy to reflect the sector's growing economic potential. He said Zambia recorded 1.3 million tourist arrivals in 2023, followed by 2.2 million in 2024, a jump of 70%, stating that if the trend continues, the aim is to reach 3 million visitors by the end of 2025. MacDonald said the objective is to drive an engine for job creation and new investments for local businesses.
And we're here today to try and advocate for some policy changes in the tourism sector that can enable tourism to also be one of the more significant contributors to GDP. Having said that, we do have to acknowledge the tremendous progress that has been made. In 2023, our visitor arrivals were 1.3 million. In 2024, they were 2.2, which is a staggering 70% increase year on year. It doesn't happen very often in other parts of the world, so the fact that it's happened in Zambia is a tremendous achievement to you and your government, sir.
Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo has warned that all individuals involved in the destruction and damage of property in Chingola this morning will be brought to book. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Matambo urged the law enforcement agencies to ensure that perpetrators of riots in the mining town are brought to book. The provincial minister said that the riotous behavior by the small-scale miners in Chingola is unacceptable and should not be condoned. Mr. Matambo said that the behavior exhibited by the small-scale miners, popularly known as Jerabos, is regrettable, despite government having exhausted all avenues of dialogue with all the concerned parties.
They have seen the efforts we have put in. The past 2-3 weeks, we had meetings myself, together with the Minister of Mines, the representatives from the Jerabos, the owners of Senseli. The first meeting actually was at State House, because the President cared for those people. And the negotiations were going on very well, and I think they are almost reaching the agreement on how they can participate legally. Because the President, what the directive we have, which everyone should follow, is that first of all there must be legal mining, not illegal mining. Secondly, there must be formal arrangements where even taxes should be paid to the ZRA. Secondly, there must be safety, which is the most important thing. There must be safety. The past 3-4 weeks, we've lost a lot of lives there at the pit. And we can't keep on losing lives every other day. And this is what the President is trying to stop. And all of us, this is what we are trying to stop.
The Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development has unveiled plans to construct 3 new industrial yards in southern, central, and Muchinga provinces, aiming to create over 2,000 jobs and drive rural industrialization. Principal Public Relations Officer Virginia Chilongo said the initiative is part of government's broader economic strategy to boost micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, and strengthen cooperatives, particularly in underserved areas. Ms. Chilongo said these facilities will promote competitiveness and value addition across key sectors such as energy, agri-business, timber and wood, metals and minerals, and innovation. Each industrial yard will house 30 light manufacturing workshops geared toward SMEs and cooperatives. On average, every enterprise is expected to generate 25 jobs, resulting in more than 2,000 direct employment opportunities for local communities. The construction cost of the 3 facilities is pegged at $10.5 million, with funding provided by the African Development Bank, AFDB, under Phase 2 of the Skills Development and Entrepreneurship Project supporting women and youth, SDEP SWY. Ms. Chilongo added that the project is scheduled to begin in mid-2026 and will span approximately 18 months, highlighting that the ministry has already built and operationalized 8 industrial yards across Lusaka, Copperbelt, Northwestern, Western, Luapula, Northern, and Eastern provinces with continued support of the AFDB. She stated that the ministry remains committed to fostering job and wealth creation through sustainable, resilient, and inclusive enterprise development.
Total cost of $10.5 million United States dollars for the entire project of the 3 new industrial yards. This is with support from the African Development Bank under Phase 2 of the Skills Development and Entrepreneurship Project, supporting women and the youth. So the SMEs and cooperatives will be from various value chains, from energy, agribusiness, timber, wood processing, mining, even innovation. And the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise remains committed to job and wealth creation. So each industrial yard in the 3 provinces is expected to host about 30 light manufacturing workspaces.
The Zambian government, in partnership with UNICEF, has taken a significant step toward strengthening child protection systems by donating ICT equipment to the Ministry of Community Development and Social Services and Lifeline Childline Zambia. During the handover ceremony, Ms. Doreen Mwamba emphasized the importance of the Child Helpline as a lifeline for vulnerable children, stating a voice is only effective when someone is ready to listen, record, respond, and act. Minister Mwamba also called for the installation of billboards displaying helpline numbers at key entry points like airports and bus stations to help children on the move report abuse.
National concern. It is often hidden behind secret halls of silence, fear, and stigma. The helpline breaks that silence. Country representative, in this country we have child abuse on the rise. It happens in homes where children are supposed to be protected, where children are supposed to be safe. With the equipment that you have given us today, it breaks that silence. The children and most often neighbors will be able to make that call. We need to sensitize, we need to put the numbers up there so that they know which numbers to call.
UNICEF country representative Dr. Nejmuddin Kabir Bilal praised the ministry's leadership, affirming the UN's commitment to ensuring every child in Zambia is protected and supported. Lifeline Childline Zambia CEO Ms. Florence Nkua welcomed the donation, noting that multilingual call centers will now operate more efficiently, ensuring children from diverse backgrounds can access help in their native languages.
To accept on behalf of Lifeline Childline Zambia this donation of the call center equipment from our steadfast partners, UNICEF Zambia. On behalf of Lifeline Childline Zambia, Board of Directors, Management and Staff, we express our deep gratitude for the timely and generous contribution. The equipment will enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of our call center services as the backbone and lifeblood of our organization. The call center is vital. Therefore, any support it receives eases our work tremendously. This donation will empower our counselors to deliver essential psychosocial support and accurately document data crucial for informed policy development and implementation.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mlambo Haimbe, has affirmed that Zambia's ongoing crackdown on corruption is sending a powerful message to international partners and investors. The country is serious about safeguarding investments and upholding the rule of law. Responding to a parliamentary query from Chinsali MP Kalalwe Mokosa, Mr. Haimbe emphasized that the arrests of individuals, regardless of political affiliation, demonstrate Zambia's commitment to transparency and accountability. He stressed that convictions will be pursued through competent courts reinforcing Zambia's reputation as a rule of law nation. These remarks followed a ministerial statement on President Hakainde Hichilema's recent state visit to Egypt, where investment and diplomatic ties were key themes.
The very arrest of persons who are alleged to have come in conflict with the law through corrupt and other activity encourages our partners to say this country is no longer one of corruption. It is one in which our investments will be safe, in which culprits who think they can take away foreign direct investment and money intended for the masses will be brought to book. In fact, they are very happy and say, yes, this is the country that we want to partner with because it's a country of laws where alleged criminals find themselves convicted by competent courts of jurisdiction. A safe haven.
Center for Policy Dialogue Chairperson Dr. Neo Simutanyi echoed calls for insulating national development plans from political cycles, emphasizing the importance of continuity across administrations. He spotlighted Zambia's potential in electric vehicle EV partnerships with the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and stressed the urgency of formalizing informal gold mining to enhance local resource mobilization. Dr. Simutanyi also lamented the impact of the recent withdrawal of U.S. aid, citing job losses and disruptions in health services. He called for greater accountability in the health sector, pointing to persistent drug shortages despite government assurances. He urged Zambia to adopt constitutionality protected national plans and challenged the country to emulate China's transformative rural development and measurable poverty reduction strategies.
Where I find drugs in government hospitals, even when the government says drugs are there and they're in sufficient quantities, in hospitals you are told you need to buy the drugs, but authorities tell us drugs are there. So why is there this gap that what we are told by authorities and what is obtaining on the ground is different? That's I think an issue that we need to address.
Economics Association of Zambia, EAZ Vice President Mbanji Milambo, has proposed the establishment of an economic constitution to shield Zambia's development trajectory from political interference. Speaking at a one-day symposium themed Zambia in a Shifting World Order, Strategic Responses to Global Geopolitical Reconfiguration, hosted by the Southern African Institute for Policy and Research, SIPA, in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Milambo stressed the need for long-term policy consistency, citing China's sustained strategies as a model worth emulating. He also warned that Zambia must achieve economic growth rates exceeding 12% to meaningfully address poverty and population pressures. Mr. Milambo also raised concerns over outdated mineral records and welcomed the ongoing national mapping initiative, calling for a renewed push toward strategic planning and production to reclaim Zambia's leadership in mining.
We need a legal framework. Coming to the mineral aspect, I'm very aware that there is a mapping exercise that's going on. I think as a country for a long time, we didn't know what sits where. So that's why we are seeing every day in this point, villagers are digging, they discover a mineral. Sometimes they don't even know what mineral it is. So I'm very much aware that there is a mapping exercise that's going on, and obviously look forward to seeing this report after it's done. It's sad to see that countries like Peru in 1964, when Zambia was already starting mining, Peru was basically equally sending their engineers to a mandate from Zambia. But in terms of their annual copper production, we can't even compare to Zambia at the moment. Because they did the right thing, they mapped their country, they knew what deposit is sitting at what point, and they have a plan how to extract it and process it.
Farmers residing at the Sakanya border have bemoaned the lack of manpower at the border. They have since urged the government to bolster manpower at the local depot to ease the lengthy queues they are experiencing. Here is a report.
We are happy to bring our maize to FRA this season, they said. These are farmers at the Sakanya border who have expressed eagerness to sell their maize to the Food Reserve Agency FRA. However, they are facing delays due to a shortage of manpower, forcing them to wait in long queues.
Please, may the government continue. But here, they don't have many powers here. Manpower is a problem. The government should increase manpower to help us as people of Zambia. Thank you.
It has also been discovered that the depot area is not accommodating, as its proximity to the clinic limits the time farmers can spend there.
Not 7 days. Abantu balefa kwebati balepita mu mutufyola tuleba pele ndalama abale bombo numba yifu tulinchushita tulafone ndalama indalama kuti twabapera cyane irintu government yali ngisha abantu kwebati bale bomba iyo collapsion ya utafita.
Ndola District Commissioner Precious Njekwa said the matter will be solved and that she is determined to ensure that the FRA sends additional personnel to boost capacity.
We found a lot of people still bringing in maize, so which shows that people have a lot of maize actually in their homes. So the situation which we have found here is, number one, the maize which has been bought has not been collected to be taken to the main depots. So on that one, it's a government thing. We'll definitely work with FRA officers who are in Ndola, make sure that these bags are collected to provide more space for incoming bags which are still on their way to this place.
Reporting for Sun FM TV News, I'm Gertrude Mwansa at Sakanya border in Ndola.
Sports news is next, right after this break.
Win namamuli 1 million na ABSA. Play your cards right, Muntu Andi, and you could win big. Simply tap or swipe any of your ABSA cards 5 times in a month, and you could be one of 10 lucky winners to take home a cheap 10-pin in monthly prizes or walk away with a grand prize of 250,000 kwacha. Chaliroku, and you cannot afford to not get lucky. Use your ABSA card to enter the draw. Terms and conditions apply. Your story matters. ABSA.
In sports, ZPL Eden Women Super League champions Zescondola Girls FC are gearing up for their maiden appearance in the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifier. The Council of Southern Africa Football Associations, COSAFA, has confirmed the tournament will take place in South Africa from August 22nd to the 31st, 2025. All matches are scheduled to be hosted at the University of Johannesburg's A.W. Muller Stadium. The female electricians will discover their group stage opponents on August 5th when COSAFA conducts the official draws. During the 5th staging of the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifier, only regional champions will advance to the continental finals. Previous winners include Mamelodi Sundowns in the 2021 edition and 2023, and Green Buffaloes in the 2022 edition. Zescondola Girls coach William Zulu has expressed a desire to guide the team to regional glory. And that sports item brings us to the end of this edition of the news. To end, we recap on the headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema has called for the urgent removal of barriers hindering the growth of Zambia's tourism sector emphasizing its potential to become a major driver of economic development. Copperbelt Minister Elisha Matambo has warned that all individuals involved in the destruction and damage of property in Chingola this morning will be brought to book. The Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise Development has unveiled plans to construct 3 new industrial yards in southern, central and Muchinga provinces, aiming to create over 2,000 jobs and drive rural industrialization. In sports, ZPL Eden Women's Super League champions Zescondola Girls are gearing up for their maiden appearance in the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifier. And that's where we end. My name is Alan Mwale. Do have a great one and stay tuned to Sun FM TV.
The News, 88.5 Sun FM.
Win namamuli 1 million na ABSA. Play your cards right, Muntu Andy, and you could win big. Simply tap or swipe.